I am Sasha, speaking as the first speaker of the opposition team, and I'm going to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, so what exactly do we mean by not believing that children should have the full obligations towards parents when they finally reach adulthood? We didn't mean that we will basically just black out any support, just blatantly no support towards parents when they're aging. We mean that we will provide alternative solutions that we will explain later on. We believe so that yes, parents when they're aging, they are in dire need of support in terms of emotional, in terms of physical, in terms of financial, in terms of caregiving support when they're aging. So before jumping into the alternative solutions, we will explain our stance first here. So our stance here is preserving individual autonomy. Our primary stance would be to uphold the principle of individual autonomy. We would argue that adults have the inherent rights to make their own choices regarding their relationships with their parents, including the decisions to provide support or not. We believe so, ladies and gentlemen. And then second is diverse family dynamics. We argue that we would emphasize that family dynamics are complex and vary widely from one situation to another. It's not like one size fits for all in terms of family relationship, from like parent and child relationships. It's not that. Past experience and personal values that influences these dynamics are different, ladies and gentlemen, are different. So moving on towards our principle here is to protect individual freedom. Okay. We argue convincingly for the preservation of individual autonomy and the rights of adults to make their own choices regarding their familial responsibilities. And then second is alternative solutions. Yes, our stance would involve proposing alternative solutions to encourage family support for elderly parents that do not involve legal coercion. We may advocate for public awareness campaigns, incentives, voluntary programs, and community support networks as more effective and respectful ways to address these issues. So, that is all, and I am going to elaborate more on our urgency argument first. It's about fundamental rights and autonomy. First layer of the argument is inherent human right. We contend that autonomy is not just a legal principle, but an inherent human right, ladies and gentlemen. It's inherent in international human rights conventions and recognized as a foundational element of personal freedom and dignity. As adults, individuals possess the inherent rights to make their choices about their own lives, including their relationships with their parents, of course. And then second is about protection against government overreach. We believe so that the principle of autonomy serves as a safeguard against the government overreach into personal affairs. Our societies value the separation of personal and state matters, with the understanding that personal autonomy should only be restricted under exceptional circumstances to protect the greater good. Imposing legal obligations in familial relationships represents a significant overstep of government's authority. And what is the urgency, ladies and gentlemen? The urgency in this matter lies in the need to protect individual autonomy swiftly, as what we mentioned before. Delaying action may allow for the gradual erosion of this fundamental right within the context of family dynamics, potentially leading to more extensive government intervention in personal lives. So our principle of the alternative way. We would emphasize the principle of individual autonomy and personal freedom, and with that being said, we would also give alternative way. First is about public awareness campaigns. Launching public awareness campaigns to educate individuals about the importance of family support for elderly parents. First is education and advocacy. These campaigns would educate the public about the importance of familial support for elderly parents, and they can advocate for the moral and ethical responsibilities involved and highlight the benefits of voluntary support, ladies and gentlemen. And then second is about incentives and tax benefits. First is about financial rewards. Governments can offer financial incentives or tax benefits to adult children who choose to support their aging parents. And then this will provide a tangible reward for responsible behavior. And then second on incentives and tax benefits is about reduction of financial barriers. By reducing the financial burden of caregiving, these incentives can make it more feasible for adult children to provide support without feeling coerced. And ladies and gentlemen, we believe so that we strongly emphasize that autonomy is the fundamental right that should be safeguarded at all costs. And even though, yes, it is important to preserve our parents when they are aging, we already give our alternative solutions. And these legal obligations infringe upon this right and represent a concerning precedent of government overreach. And we urge you to consider the urgent need to protect individual autonomy in making personal choices about their relationships with their parents. With all that being said, I very much like to oppose